Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Seymour Shenanigans. Seymour Shenanigans. We gon' shenanigan. We gon' shenanigan. Hey, y'all.
What up, what up, what up?
What up, what up, what up? In honor of Father's Day coming up this coming weekend, we thought we would make a little short, cute, sweet, loving episode. A tribute to the father.
You are the father. But yeah.
So, Father's Day. Let's talk about your daddy. Let's talk about Tony. He gonna cuss us out, y'all. We should have thought about this a little bit more. He's gonna cuss us out.
He'll be alright.
He'll be alright.
He'll be
All right,
alright.
as long as you know he'll be alright. Okay. You've been on this earth for 36 years.
That's a long time.
A long time, right? You were raised in a two-parent household. And from outside looking in, you appear to have a pretty good relationship with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the people about it. Tell the people about your relationship with your dad. Like, what are like some of your favorite moments or memories with your dad? Up until now, because you know you're going to be able to create more and more and more.
Up until now. There's like so many to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I can say about my dad, or a few things that I can say, is that he was always there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was showing up at parent-teacher conferences, taking us on vacation, extracurricular activities, sports. You know, I played a lot of basketball growing up, traveling basketball. My dad was there.
He was real active.
He was real active, whether it was coaching, you know, and just showing me like life goals and like work ethic. Like, this is how you conduct yourself when you go out in public. No, this is what you want to be able to do. This is how you carry yourself. Just being able to have that guidance and that discipline.
Yeah.
To be there, you know. And so like a lot of those memories, just me when he was coaching. I know, especially like for anybody who knows my dad, he also does tax season. So a lot of times during tax season, he's very busy. Aside from working his regular job and doing taxes in his second job, you know, he was coaching basketball.
Yeah.
So like it was either he was going to work, doing taxes, and then I would see him, he would come coach the games.
Yeah.
And so like he had very little time to like get anything else, but it was that like we are like I was his world. So just being able to do that, and then just him being able to provide for his family, you know. He's always there, always helping people, his sisters, his mother, his father, even my mom's parents, their mother and father-in-law.
Yeah.
Like he's there for everybody. Like,
So how do you feel like your dad, he's there for everybody. He always, show up. But do you feel like he shows up for himself enough?
no.
I don't either.
That is the key, is like showing up for himself.
Yeah.
Just giving, because he shows up so much for everybody else that is just one of those things that you want him to be able to take some time to himself.
Yeah.
And just like, what do you want to do? Like,
Right.
if it's
I think
just
I tell him that all the time. I tell him that all the time, like, my bad. Like, okay, what about you? What about you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do for you? Like, and I think for men, a lot of times they feel like, especially like when they're married or, have a family and all this other stuff, they feel like they have to continuously put everybody else and everything else before themselves. But it's like that it doesn't work that way, and it shouldn't work that way, because when you're all burnt out, everybody has relied on you so heavily that when you burn out, everybody else is gonna be like in haywire and not know what to do, because like they're expecting Tony to do it, right? And it's like, and it's almost like you feel like you don't get to like put yourself first. And I am a firm believer, whether it's a father, mother, sister, whoever it is, I am a firm believer as an individual, you should always put yourself first to a certain extent. Right? Like, and I'm not saying like in a way of being selfish, but in a way of like knowing that you have to take care of your needs, your wants, and all the other stuff so that you can continue to fill other people's cups the way that it makes sense to you and the way that it feels good for you. Because there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, okay, but at what point do you say, okay, let me take a moment for myself and reset and just do something for me. Your dad is so nice, and he be just so like he a nut job though. I call him a nut all the time, just a crazy old man.
But he gonna give you his opinion,
even if you didn't ask for it. Okay, even if you didn't ask for it, and best believe it's gonna be a judgy opinion at that. But I love it more, love it no less, love it no less. When you feel like, or when you think about the qualities of your dad, well, I guess let me say about myself first. I wasn't raised in the household with my dad. I was raised, of course, I think I've mentioned this before, in a single parent household with my mother. So my dad was not actively involved to that magnitude. Was he involved? Yes, here and there to the best of his ability. I would go over there every weekend, and whatnot, up until like I got to a certain age where it's like, I don't want to go there. I'm trying to go outside. I want to be with my friends. You in high school, you like skip the people.
Start branching out.
I'm outside with my friends. I'll holler at y'all later. But yeah, so yeah, like that's what our relationship dynamic looked like. And I would go over there on the weekends, like I said, every weekend throughout my childhood, for the most part. And it was cool. It was cool, you had fun. I go over there with my sister, with him, with my bonus mom. We go out, we do little things. Then, before you know it, the weekend over with. So that was that. But him being actively involved in like a lot of like stuff that I had going on in school wasn't really a big thing. But he made sure to always be there at all the major events or whatever that was extremely important. So
right.
It was like, okay, whatever. But when you think about your dad, like what's one quality or two or three that you would love to take away from your dad that when you become a father one day that you will want to incorporate?
Character.
Okay, talk about it.
My dad is probably has the best character that I've seen. When people talk about him, they talk about him with glowing reviews, to the point where he has the respect of people around him because he's a man of character and integrity. Everything. He's going to do what he's going to say. If he's not going to do it, he's going to tell you. He's open and honest. And he's very helpful when he does it, and people like and respect him and admire him.
Yeah.
So it's that way. Even when it's tough, and he's if he's the only one that's standing on it because he believes that's what's right, he's going to be able to stand up and say, hey, that's not right. It should be done like this. You shouldn't do that to this person. He's fair.
Yeah, he's very fair. He do be big on that, like, you don't do that to people.
Right.
And I be like, now granted, I don't be doing nothing to people. He be talking about the people and he be telling me to 411. That's my gossip partner. Papa Tony is my gossip partner. He be like, you don't do that to people. What's wrong with the people? I be like, oh Lord, here you go. But no, yeah, he is like that.
He definitely is like that. So it's definitely like that's one thing that I want to be able, that I admire about him, is his character, and I would love to be able to, that point when I have kids, is to be able to instill that in my kids. I like that.
Okay.
What about you?
What?
What is something that you would like to?
I think I kind of already do it. Like my dad is a really hard worker. At least from like what I've always witnessed growing up. Like he's always been like a really hard worker. And my dad actually know how to cook really good too, which I already got. You know what I'm saying? So I think I've already embodied those two things for the most part. And my dad is, and me and my sister was just talking about this, like, cause I'm a gift giver, and my sister was like, "Did your mom give you gifts a lot when you was growing up?" I was like, "Yeah, like I just got gifts like for the littlest things, like, oh, that's something. Here's a gift, like it was cute or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, that makes sense." I was like, "But I think I'm an expensive gift giver because my dad is an expensive gift giver." And we was both talking about like exactly because like we could remember like a time where he bought like me and my other two siblings like all new computers and speakers and stuff for Christmas. And like we outside, who finna tell us what? Like
Right.
what? We got new computers, what y'all got? You know what I'm saying? You know we ain't shit. But it was like, oh, okay, that's something that I know, a characteristic that I know. Now, of course, he has his reasons for being an expensive gift giver, whatever they are, right? But it was just like, oh, I like that because you know me, I give great gifts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you definitely do.
So, but I had to calm down on that a little bit because people don't gift the same way I gift, and I realized it's not even the dollar amount. It's like the quality and the integrity behind it. Cause like, did you really put effort? And I've gotten gifts where it's like, ain't no effort been up in this. So I'm just not. I know how to shift you. I ain't gonna say no. I just know how to shift when I'm giving gifts to certain people. But anyways, that was a little tangent. But yeah, those are the things that like I feel like I already embody about him. Now let's talk about like a characteristic or a trait about them
Go ahead.
that you don't want to take on. I'll start with this one. That we don't want to take on from our father. My father keeps everything in. Like he don't rely on his support enough. Cause his man is like, I just gotta get it done. I just gotta get it done. Like I can't count on nobody. I just gotta get it done, right? And I know I have that mentality a little bit too. And I've been trying to be more like, be more aware of it and break that. But I don't want to embody that in the magnitude that he has embodied it. Like I just gotta get it done. I can take care of it. I don't gotta tell nobody. Then it's like, sir, you've been going through what? Like you've been stressed? Like
Right.
why are you stressing? Come on. Tell us what's going on. What you need type of ordeal. Because it does feel good to like have a village and like be able to rely on your village, right?
It definitely
And
does.
so like I know that's the biggest characteristic that like I don't want to embody anymore.
Okay. Understandable.
What about you?
For me, you kind of piggybacked off. Well, I'm gonna piggyback off you, but you kind of said it earlier, where you was like, you kind of want to be a little bit more. Like my dad is so selfless. Like he doesn't take any time for himself. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that sometimes he may spread himself thin.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I've had to learn. Like you have to be able to take some time to yourself just to recharge your battery.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where it's just like I've tried to incorporate that into myself because I see it like it wears himself thin, and it's like, you know what? I gotta take some time to myself. I gotta be selfish in this moment just so I can recharge my battery so that way I can go back to helping people.
Yeah.
And it's crazy like how we both said those things because our parents grew up, especially our dads grew up in a generation where it was like you said, we were there like holding everything in. Men weren't told to talk about their feelings like that. Like that was considered weak.
Yeah, and remember on the last episode, it's Men's Health Month, so y'all ain't weak. Talk about it.
Talk about it.
Release.
Yes, it definitely helps. And then like with my dad, like being selfless, like one of those things is like, well, you say like, oh, well, you are a family, you got to take care of you, so you have to be able to do everything.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, no, you don't have to.
No.
You got help. And if you feel you overwhelmed, take some time to yourself to be able to recharge your battery.
Yeah, that's what me and my sister was trying to tell my dad to like take some time to yourself and just recharge, relax. Like the chaos in the world is going to continue to move regardless of what you're doing.
It is.
Right? It's going to continue to be chaotic. So it's up to you to like really determine what you're gonna do for you. You know, as I always say, you gotta find your little bit of peace in all that chaos.
Absolutely.
If y'all know, that's my slogan for Peaceful Chaos Therapy. Clock it. Shameless plug.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so you want to be able to, you want to make sure you don't forget to just have your moment of rightfully owed selfishness.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I like how you put that. Rightfully owed selfishness.
Exactly.
That's got a ring to it right there.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, what's one TV dad, right? What's one TV dad that was like, oh, I wish my daddy was kind of like that. It don't matter what way, but like, you could say what way. I'll go. Why you thinking? So man was Uncle Phil.
Okay.
I wanted my dad to be rich like Uncle Phil. That's it. My daddy already ball. Uncle Phil ball. You know, my daddy already ball. He got that down pat. But I was like, oh, I wish he was rich. I wish I lived in a rich mansion and all that other stuff. That'd be so dope. That was the one thing I always wanted to say. What about you?
Because my dad kind of was Uncle Phil. Well, he wasn't rich, but
You gotta pick your own TV dad.
no, I mean that's what I'm trying to do. Like that was initially my answer.
Oh.
But you could have that one. But I would say my dad was more like
I know what you want to say.
What?
He was more like Bill Cosby before the whole scandal. I know it.
So like when you watch the Cosby Show and you saw Bill Cosby, like how Bill moved, like he was very elegant, prideful. Like that's how my dad is.
Yeah, before the scandal.
Right.
Before the scandal.
So,
and that's fair.
right.
I mean, that's fair to say. You know what I'm saying? We know your daddy ain't like that.
Right.
Like the whole scandal that came out. That is far. Child, and that man don't even touch liquor. For real.
Yeah.
So, you know, we know he ain't like that. But it's okay. And I think that's the part that sucks too, because it's like, regardless of the scandal that came out, there are so many relatable moments to the Cosby Show in general. And it's like, people are so afraid to say it or still speak on it because of that. But I'm a firm believer that we can still pay homage to that, what we saw before the scandal that came out. Because that's what our childhood was.
Because two things, now that you mention it, two things can actually be true.
Yeah,
Everyone
things can be true
talk
at the
about
same
but
time.
talk about the scandal, whatever. But Bill Cosby actually did help a lot of Black Americans, how they were seen and portrayed with his show and everything.
On that TV show, yeah.
So because that is also a part of Black culture as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So absolutely, I would say Bill Cosby on the Cosby Show.
On the Cosby Show. Okay. What other question you had?
I don't have any.
Okay, well, let's go to our question of the episode.
So, I got two of them.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So, I'm going to ask this first one. Do you find yourself repeating something that your parents said? Or in this
case, that like my dad
your
said. No, not that I can think of. Nothing like that comes to mind. What about you?
My dad was he was more of like a disciplinarian with kids. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things like sometimes I'll be more disciplinarian with kids, but it's also giving them that freedom. It's one of those things like kids know, business, but they also have the freedom to come where they're able to come and speak their mind. Mm-hmm. So it was like that with my dad. And so it's one of those things where like I find myself like that with a lot of kids.
Like with your nephew.
My nephew,
you ain't got a lot of kids.
Well, I don't have no kids, but my nephew.
You don't got a lot of kids in your life that you see on a regular basis. I'm like, what? You talking about a lot of kids? Learn me something, y'all. Cause what? But yeah, no, like repeating. At first, I thought you were talking about like a saying or something, but you talking about actions too. I don't know, like whole time. But I feel like I honestly do feel like I get this from both my parents. But whole time, like my daddy a vibe. Like when it's time for a good time, like to like chill, relax, and have fun and party, whatever. Like my dad is a vibe. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and I'm a vibe.
Oh yeah.
I'm always a vibe.
No, now that you mention it, yeah, you and your dad, y'all both be vibes. Y'all like that.
Mm-hmm. We like to have us all a drink,
time.
Have us a good time, laugh, talk. You know, play some dominoes, some cards, whatever. Like, you know, we low end folks, low end, no end, holler at me. But anyways, you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, bad. But and that's how I said, well, I get it honestly from both my parents too, cause my mom's a vibe too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's like they combine their powers in.
Right, cause I'm next level. I'm next level with it. Next level with it, baby. All right, what's your second question?
Second question. We kind of answered that one already.
Oh, okay.
So it was basically saying, what's the thing you most hope to replicate from your own upbringing?
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, we did. But I know the other thing is, of course, it's just, and this hasn't to do necessarily with my dad per se, but like going on vacations.
Okay.
Like starting kids off to like, when we become parents, starting them off at taking trips, family trips and stuff at an early age.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think another thing I thought about with my dad was...
And I'm going to call everybody heifers, because that's what his daddy called everybody, heifers. Damn, heifer and goofy. I already call people goofy anyway. But see, I be like goof ass motherfucker, but he be like, damn, goofy.
Oh man!
What you was gonna say that?
My other saying is always, you do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So that was something that he always instilled in me. Like,
yeah,
you gotta work, do what you gotta do. Once that's done, you take care of. Now you got time to go.
Yeah, but it's so funny because when you're working and you're working overtime, and like he can't get in contact with you and he calls me, he'll be like. Or like if me and him, if I'm with him and we going somewhere, we shooting the breeze or whatever, and he be like, oh, I'm like, oh yeah, he been working. He's like, yeah, he told me he been working overtime this week. And he be like, he better stop all that working overtime. He gotta calm down, just gotta relax. And I'm like, well, it's temporary. He trying to make sacrifices for a minute so we can be great. Right. And you know, he be like, oh, I guess well, as long as he ain't doing too much now.
No.
He be so concerned. Your daddy love you. He love you. He be so concerned. I feel like, it's okay, Papa. That's what we call him, Papa. That's what I call him, because his grandson, the nephew, called him that. But, nah, your daddy, he be funny. Heifer. Damn, just some goofies.
Oh, man.
Tony is crazy. But anyways, again, we just wanted to do a little cute, short, simple, sweet episode just honoring our fathers. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Rodney. Y'all did y'all thing when we was created. I'm just saying. Okay, you know, of course, shout out to our mamas too. They was, you know, y'all was team effort. Yeah. But we hope that y'all Father's Day would be great. Y'all get all the love y'all need, feel you want, and deserve, and relax or go party, whatever you decide you want to do. Or in Tony's case, go to church. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Share this to y'all friends, family, or whatever, and remind y'all daddies that it's okay to relax and put themselves first for once, especially if you have an active, hard-working father that's always doing for others. So y'all know what it is. It's Seymour Shenanigans. Seymour Shenanigans.
We gon' shenan again. We gon' shenan again.